Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, President, Founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Standup. So without any further ado, let's get started. So over the past 2 days, we've had an opportunity to cover part 1 and part 2 of 12 simple framing coaching techniques that you can use to help you be a strong Agile coach and make you be a better coach. So I thought we'd round it out today with the last 4, because I think these are just really powerful techniques that you can use that are going to send you into the stratosphere. They're going to help you really accelerate the way that you're coaching and generate excitement in the groups that you're coaching for. So without any further ado, let's hit these last 4. So the first one of the 4 is a coaching technique that Stephen Covey and Toyota brought to pass. So there was a technique called the 5 whys. And it's slightly provocative because you don't want to, if you abuse this, it could drive someone crazy. And I use 2 examples here. So the technique basically is, if someone says something or they bring to pass a problem, right? And they tell you about what's going on, and you want to get to the heart of the true reason why they really care about this. You might ask, oh, so why might that be the case? Or why is that way? Or why is it this way? Or why do we have it this way? And I think if the coach and the end user, or the end client in this case, have established rapport and they know each other and they know that you're not being flippant about it, then it's a good technique to get people to think a little deeper, right? To continue to think a little deeper and continue to think about, hey, why are things this way? Why are things driving in this direction? Why might we be choosing this? Why is that the better option? Right. And I think that it just drives you to think a little deeper. And when you do ask why, make sure you always pause so that people can explain their reasons why. But there's also what I call the Olaf phenomenon. So I don't know if any of you've seen the movie Frozen. I'm sure most of you have. But if you're just like Olaf and you're sitting there with that smile on your face, and you're like, why? 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 That's going to drive somebody insane. And it's not a good idea, right? So you want to make sure that you're not falling into the Olaf zone where you're just asking people why for the sake of asking why. You don't want to end up in a I don't have a skull or bones category, right? You want people will want to kill you. You want to make sure if you're asking why that people understand that you really do care about why, but that this technique is perfect for getting further or deeper into an issue and trying to figure out root cause analysis, but it should never be abused, right? I guess that's what it boils down to. Coming in at number 10, the 10th most effective coaching technique: shrink it down, make it small. We found big and dramatic changes can feel overwhelming. It induces analysis paralysis. It induces people freaking out, right? I think that this technique is cool because it helps everybody reduce something to something more manageable, something they can understand, something tangible, something attainable, right? When you bring the change to life and you see it just in a small photo or in a small window, it offers you a sense of accomplishment. I always call this one getting a notch on your belt, right? So, oh, I've earned a notch on my belt, we're good. So I often ask people, wow, that seems pretty heavy. What's something that we could do right now that will make an impact? What's something that we could do that we could kick in right this minute? What's a change that we can make now that's going to have a bigger impact later, right? How can we make a change right this moment? And oftentimes when we do that, it's so powerful because I think people often don't look at small bite-sized incremental changes. They always look at, eating the whole elephant. It would be the same as if, I approached my weight loss journey and said I had to lose 200 and how many pounds? That's not going to work. When you break it down into smaller increments, it just makes it more attainable and makes it make more sense. Another one of my favorites here, coming at number 11, ask powerful questions, right? I think that if you get your list, and I call it my ammunition bag, right? If you get your list of creative questions that are open-ended, that spur dialogue, creativity, forward thinking, open mindedness, and questions, and even include or think of questions that have the opposite effect, because sometimes that might prevent you from saying something that you didn't really want to say. So I guess in my mind that means I have to define what a powerful question is. So a powerful question is any open-ended question that cannot be answered by a simple yes or no response. You found the right question because it's going to stimulate reflection within the client and reveal previous unseen options. So a lot of times I'll ask, so tell me, what do you feel is holding us back? Or how does that decision make you feel? Or What is it? Help me understand. What is it that we're not seeing? Or, you know, what does that cost you? Not just financially, but investment wise, emotionally. What does that cost? Or tell me more about who cares about this and why it's important to them. And I think that these type of questions are the type of questions that coaches struggle with. They don't have a good arsenal or a list of those questions. And I'm not saying every question applies every time, but if you put together a list of 10 or 20 of these and you study those, when the time comes up for you to use them, you're going to have a list of questions that you can ask that are going to make you feel like and appear to be the most powerful coach on the planet. You'll be the most powerful genie in the room. No, but it'll give you the ability to answer the questions or to ask the questions. But when you ask the question, you should also reflect and say, is that the right question to be asking? Is it going to is it going to create the dialogue that I'm looking for? And is it going to give us an opportunity to really have the answer that we're seeking? And of course, the last one of the 12, I say the best for last, right? Is challenging someone's thoughts. So let me give you an example, because this is my favorite of the whole 12. I think sometimes you need to have, there's a lot of vocalism out there right now about being a disruptor, right, in the market, being a market disruptor, and all this good stuff. I think that disruption means changing a thought pattern, disrupting the status quo, right? And I think that if you can change a thought pattern, then you can help people think and grow outside of the box as an individual and help them as an organization. So it's important for you to create a place of psychological safety where the end user feels comfortable, sharing this information or thinking outside the box with you so that they can be more provocative in their thought process, right? So this is another one that you want to make sure you never use until you have good rapport with the client. So you want to make sure you have a good relationship first. But sometimes I'll challenge them. I'll say, I love that idea, but what if it didn't work? Ooh. Or, what if what you think is true turns out not to be true after all? I used that one recently, and somebody says, "What are you trying to say?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I was just asking a question." And it's just great, right? Or one of my favorites is when somebody's stuck in one way of thinking, I'm like, why not think differently about that? Why don't we try to look at it from an alternative point of view just to see where it takes us, just to be part of the journey, just to make sure we're making the right decision? And what I can promise you is when you challenge their thought pattern a few times and let them reflect, it's going to help you as a coach become stronger, and it's going to help them become more reflective. And it's just going to help overall really adjust and adapt what we're trying to do as an agile coach. And it's going to help build that environment of psychological safety. And it's going to help you build better relationships with your end clients. So I know what you're thinking. If you're a coach out there, you're thinking, oh my goodness, he just gave away everything we do for free. Yes, I did. This is the strongest way to gain trust with your clients. This is the strongest way to show them exactly what they can expect if they hire you or your organization as a coach. One of the things AgileDad coaches are proud of is that we really sit down and study things like this together so that we can provide world-class coaching to our end clients. And they love us all the more for that. And I hope that you'll take these same techniques and apply them within your coaching groups so that you can give us a run for our money and help us grow as an organization. That concludes our list of the 12 simple coaching techniques. I hope that you took something away that's valuable. As always, we encourage you, if you have a topic that you want talked about on a daily stand-up, email us, learnmore@agiledad.com. Hit us on Facebook, hit us on LinkedIn, hit us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your topics, your ideas, your suggestions. We'd love to hear your thoughts about the 12 ideas that we presented over the last 3 days. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care. We'll